My name is Cami. I am from Malaysia and my film is called Induk, otherwise known as Daughter. It is about a migrant mother who works for a Chinese family in Malaysia and she has her own daughter back in Indonesia, but at the same time she is taking care of somebody else's child, and it's essentially a film about a mother missing her daughter.
I am Lenia Friedrich. I'm an animator and I'm here with my animated documentary. It's called Life is Like That and Not Otherwise. And the animated documentary is about memory and also to become old and how I feel when I will be over 90 years old, living alone.
My film is called When the Geese Flew. It's about a young teenage boy who lives with his sister in a small remote town, and he really doesn't want her to leave home, and she is leaving home, and so he takes it upon himself to try steal back a dirt bike that was stolen from her. So the story is kind of about him trying to steal back this dirt bike, but really it's about him, I guess, trying to hold on to his sister.
Me llamo Benjamin Hendricks y soy el director de Darun. Y sí, es un cortometraje documental que retrata la vida de una mujer, Lucila, en el contexto de unos incendios forestales en el norte de Brasil.
It's about 3 young adults that meet in a park via a dating app and get lost in the park and things start to change. One place that was very important for me and like a bit of a starting point also for the film was one place that I discovered in the park, kind of a bit hidden, that felt a bit like a secret place where people go to feed the wild animals that live in the park. And I discovered this place while jogging one day and was kind of captivated by the feeling of it, by the tension. That was something that was right there from the start, I think, for me, and that influenced then how I filmed also the film, with a lot of attention to the details and to this kind of sensoric feeling of the park.
So maybe the first image was an image that is at the end of the film, so I may not talk about it for people who haven't seen it, but it's a quite intense and dramatic image, but I also want it to be soft as well, because I always like contrast and not just telling a dramatic story, but also trying to be, nuanced as much as possible.
Casa Chica es una historia autorreferencial y cuenta la historia de Kike y Valentina, un par de hermanos, que visitan a su padre un domingo y resulta que los lleva con su nueva esposa y descubren que tienen una media hermana de la misma edad. Estaba como muy clavada con las pinturas de Turner, como con estos mares y como con estas sensaciones de los rojos y los azules y como, sí, no sé, como unas batallas ahí, y con una pintora mexicana que se llama Ángela Leiva, que trabaja con la memoria, como con unos rostros de niños desfigurados como a través de la pincelada, que son muy interesantes, y pensaba un poco que así funcionaba la memoria y creo que esas fueron como las fuentes de inspiración.
The first image that came to my mind, I think, was the image of an empty fountain, or like not empty, but more like a fountain full of trash or like things that are on the street. Because a lot of the fountains in Bratislava are non-functioning anymore. They are just there and no one takes care of it. So I think one of the first things that actually also made me interested in this topic was the idea of the empty fountain covered in trash.
The first image that came in mind was this vision of a character in a very still world and trying to escape this state of stillness, go into this state of half sleeping, half awake, you know, like between life and death as well. So it was like, yeah, that point where you become like a sleepwalker yourself, or you become a ghost of some kind, like in between two worlds, like movement and stillness. So yeah, that was the first image.
Maybe my favorite still from the film is the moment where one of the characters sits still and is looking down and searching for a certain kind of leaf. And I think why I picked it is because it's a crucial moment for me in the film where the pace starts to change a bit, and maybe it's the first moment where the park or the perception of the park gets a bit strange.
I guess because it represents the film and it kind of represents the kind of still atmosphere, something, you know, that with a camera that's very still and an atmosphere that can sometimes be or feel even a little austere. I mean, the image itself is not austere, but you know, you can feel that things are very, very still.
I sent the still where I recorded myself covering my face, like I had pieces which covered the emptiness of my face, and at the same time, because I used a lot of comic stripes in the framing, there's like another part in the frame where you can see a lot of clocks, and that's a typical test you do when you have dementia. You have to draw a clock, and if you already are like your illness already is a little bit stronger, you're not able anymore to draw that clock, and that's why I put that on the left side. I find it very important to talk about dementia as well, because it's a huge topic in our society.
Sí, justo en el fotograma no vemos a la protagonista misma, sino a su nieto, Jefferson, que está sentado justo en frente de esta casa. O sea, es básicamente como él sentado en el lugar de ella, de una manera muy, muy céntrica. Y entonces para mí ese fotograma simboliza bastante como el legado que ella quiere traspasar a su nieto.
Les références principales du film, ça a été beaucoup des lectures, dont une lecture importante qui s'appelle Le corps n'oublie rien et qui parle des violences traumatiques, comment elles se créent à l'intérieur du corps et comment elles répondent physiquement et mentalement.
Yeah, well, I love the cinema of Chantal Akerman, and Jeanne Dielman was for sure a reference that I really love. I love the stillness of it. I love how characters act in a non-realistic way, and I feel like sometimes not being realistic is actually a way to, you know, make things even more powerful sometimes.
I think the film was inspired by many things I saw or read or heard. I don't know, I just knew that I wanted to make a film that would speak about something through objects and not to make a film with people, with human beings, but rather to speak about them through something.
Film de famille, violence patriarcale, mémoire, souvenir, enfance,